Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. And we're here tonight to do a New York Knicks draft special with a lot of information presented by lineups.com. So make sure you check out lineups.com. And we're going to get right into it. I got Guillermo in the video chat. And we're going to get right into, jump right into it. So let's rock, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell. You get a notification anytime that I go live. You're going to want to stay updated. You're going to want to stay updated on what's going on. We got 15 days into the NBA draft. 15 days into the Knicks. They're going to get RJ Barrett, Ja Morant, most likely one of those two guys. Maybe they're going to trade for Anthony Davis. Who knows? But you're going to want to stay updated. So make sure you subscribe right now as my dog sneezes all up in the show. I don't know if you heard her. But make sure you subscribe to the channel right now. Ring that notification bell. And we're going to go ahead and get to it. Let's talk with some of our guests in the video chat first. And then we're going to go ahead and get to it. So let's get it done. Guillermo, we got Guillermo. Let's see who else we got coming in here. I forgot my man's name coming in here. We got Guillermo.
Ernesto.
Guillermo, what's good? We got Ernesto. Ernesto, what's popping with you, man? How you guys doing tonight?
What's popping?
Good.
Yeah, I'm good. Did you guys just watch that game tonight?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Hey, it was like a middle heavyweight battle, man.
A middle.
I mean,
You mean a middleweight? Yeah. Like a middleweight?
Middleweight, not heavyweight, middleweight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was back and forth, man.
Because Toronto kept fighting, man. They just kept pushing, and Golden State was trying to come back, and they were trying to just get back into the game, and Toronto wouldn't let them. They wouldn't let up.
And
kept fighting,
Sim,
man.
And Sim, just like we talk about, just so the chat room could hear this, the Raptors got only one superstar. Only one superstar on that team. The rest of that team, a bunch of role players, and they have a great system. Hitting mid-range shots, great passing, really good defense, man.
That's
so all
true.
these people that think we got to have a squad of 5 superstars, man. Don't need it. You don't need it, man.
That's true. There's one star, and you got some very, very good role players.
And role players that know their role. And there's a culture there where, look, you could build around a superstar, but everybody plays hard defense. Everybody plays to the whistle, and no one's scared. Everyone builds confidence from each other, man. So all this stuff about you got to import 30 superstars to build a team and all that stuff, you don't. You're looking at two teams. And honestly, if the Raptors weren't so hot in Game 3 and Game 1, you know, the Warriors, who were missing KD and now they're missing Clay, they were in these games. But I know they kind of blown out in this last one, but they were in these games, Sim. So you got a system, man. You got good role players and guys that buy into it, man.
Yeah, and like I was saying last night, the Warriors are one of the few teams, right? They're one of the few teams who have stars as role players. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to get that every place. That's what makes them so great. Now, obviously, tonight, you know, without Klay Thompson, Kevon Looney, obviously Kevin Durant, you know, it's going to be a struggle for them. But they have stars as role players, and you know, it's not going to be like that everywhere. Most teams that win NBA championships aren't going to have stars as role players. You have 1 or 2 stars, and then you have some very good role players. Sometimes your stars makes your role players, or the system that you have makes your role players even better, right? You know, it makes your role players look sometimes like stars. That's why you get some of these, you know, you get guys that you remember one year when the New York Knicks, when they were really, really good, Charles Oakley made the All-Star team. John Starks made the All-Star team. The Knicks had like 3 or 4 players on the All-Star team, right?
Was that 96?
You know, maybe it was 96. I don't remember what year it was, but they had like 3 or 4 players on the All-Star team because, you know, they had a system. They were really good, and, you know, that's the way it goes sometimes. You know what I mean? But, yeah, I'm with you, man. On
And
which,
the people in the chat, there's someone saying that it was all defense, but if you watch that game when the Warriors are trying to make a comeback, the Raptors answered back with those same points. Don't get me wrong, Klay Thompson, KD are good defenders as well, but the Raptors were able to also execute on offense. So it wasn't just like this was a 96, 80, 86 game. The Raptors scored 100 and what? Almost close to 120 points, if I remember, whatever the score was. So the Raptors executed on offense, man. Like, you guys, like, people just, it was all defense, but it's not defense. It's not all defense, man. Even though they play great defense, and KD and Clay are out, but the Raptors executed, man.
yeah. And unfortunately, I mean, listen, I'm one of those people that I can go either way. You know, if we get KD, we build and we try to build around KD, okay. If we don't get KD and we build with the young guys, I'm cool with that as well. But unfortunately, for everybody that is clamoring and crying and really wants KD here,
yeah.
If the Warriors lose this NBA Finals without Kevin Durant,
echoes up in here, man.
You know what I'm saying? Without Kevin Durant, there's gonna, that's gonna, in my opinion, make it more likely that Kevin Durant signs back with the Golden State Warriors. So
wow,
we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, we're not here to really talk about that, get all into Kevin Durant and all that stuff tonight. Tonight, we're here to talk about potential draft picks of the New York Knicks. I know most people have it a lock that the Knicks take RJ Barrett at number 3, but I do think it's worth looking at some of the other guys that the Knicks may be interested in, because it may not be a lock, and you never know. They worked out Jarrett Culver today. They're going to work out RJ Barrett soon, and we'll see who else they work out. I know that they at least interviewed Cam Reddish, and they're probably going to work out Cam Reddish. So we'll see. We'll see where it all goes. Let's get around and let everybody introduce themselves, and then we'll get into the show. Ernesto, what's going on with you, man? How you feeling?
Man, I can't wait to blow up some fireworks, bro.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, 4th of July can't get here soon enough.
I hear you, man. June 30th, man, is gonna be on and popping on June 30th, and I can't wait. We're definitely gonna be live.
Well, hopefully by the 4th we'll have some results already.
Hopefully. You know what? It may take longer than the 4th, though.
Yeah.
It may take longer than the 4th. It just might take longer than the 4th. You know what I mean? Kevin Durant is probably going to take his time and think a little bit about what he wants to do and those type of things. So it may take a little bit longer than the 4th. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I'm saying it one more time, really, really quick, ladies and gentlemen, so don't get upset with me. All right, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell so you can stay updated. All summer long on what's happening with the New York Knicks, because there's a lot going on with the New York Knicks right now, and you're going to want to stay updated. All right, let's get back to Ernesto. Ernesto, man, yeah, so what's going on with you?
Just finished watching the game. Like I was telling the guys in the chat, it looked like a middleweight battle there. Toronto just kept pushing them off. Golden State tried to come back, but it was like they just kept them away. They just kept jabbing away, and they would not allow Golden State back in the game. So it was impressive.
Yeah, and
great defensive effort all around. And now we got to see if Golden State can get their guys back on the court for game 4.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the Toronto Raptors felt, I don't want to say desperate because it was 1-1, but there's no way with the Warriors down so many players that you want to go down 2-1 and then you allow it. Now they still have the upper hand. right? They take home court advantage, and then you allow their players to recover and get healthy. There's no way that the Toronto Raptors were going to allow that to happen. Not in this situation. So I'm pretty sure they felt at least a little bit of desperation to come away with a victory in this game, and that's what they did. So, yeah. But I'm going to get around, want everybody to introduce themselves quick, and then we're going to go ahead and talk. We're going to go ahead and talk New York Knicks and their draft. Welcome for those who are just joining us. Welcome to the New York Knicks NBA draft special, where we're going to break down and look at we're going to break down and we're going to look at possible draft picks of the New York Knicks with the support and help of lineups.com. So let me get to my man Ant, see what Ant's thinking. Yo. What's going on, Ant? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. Man, I'll tell you one thing though, man. The refs are letting those guys play.
Yeah.
I think that's why this series is 2-1 right now, man, because the only way to neutralize Golden State is to be physical. And the refs are letting them be real physical. So if the refs keep allowing them to play this physical, it may go 7. But if the refs lighten up a little bit, I can see Golden State, picking up some steam. Okay. Because Steph got whacked a couple of times going to the basket. They ain't call it. But, so it's interesting to see, man, because I'm interested because they just changed the whole philosophy. The NBA was all this freedom of movement. They blown the whistles if you breathe on somebody's neck. Now they're not calling nothing. So I'm interested to see how that plays out.
Yeah, we'll see how that plays out. I mean, but part of it though, part of the reason that Steph Curry can get free, that it's hard to keep up with Steph Curry, is because when you have other shooters and other deadly scorers on the floor, you can't help off as much. You got to be mindful of those guys. You don't have people executing at the same level. So it's a little bit different. So we'll have to see how this thing turns out. See if Golden State can get some of their guys back.
But even when they do, the way the refs are calling it favors Toronto. The way the game is being called. Yeah. That's the way Toronto wants to play. Kyle Lowry, Kawhi, Marc Gasol, Serge, they're all physical guys. So if they allow them to play this physical, Golden State got to fight on their hands.
That's true. Let me get around. Let me see. Freezy, what's going on, man?
Yo. Hey, what's up, fam?
I'm good, man. How you feeling?
Man, I'm good. I'm still getting killed about a comment I made on your other show.
Oh.
But it's all love, though.
Oh, wait a minute. You still getting killed. You still getting killed about the Big Daddy Kane comment?
Man. Yeah, but you know what though? It went from like 90-10 to now I think it's like 60-40 because cats realized Kane did those joints with Spinderella and Barry White and Dolomite, and now they heard the Symphony 2 verse. They like, yo, you might have a point, but you can't slaughter a legend. So that's my mistake, man. Saying something like that about a legend.
DeMarcus Cousins is losing money every time he misses a layup.
Let me mute Ant. My bad. That was, for those of you who don't know, I got a show, and I'm actually gonna do the show tomorrow night called The Front Stoop. And if you follow hip hop, and if you're a hip hop historian, my man Freezy said something that was almost blasphemous. It really was almost blasphemous, Freezy. It was almost blasphemous. It really hurt me. He said Big Daddy Kane was whack, and everybody just lost their stuff. It was like, whoa, wait a minute, hold up. You said who was whack? Everybody lost their stuff. You know what I'm saying? Right. I was almost about to do a whole, I did that little cutout video and put it on Twitter. I was gonna do a whole thing and play Raw and set it off and a bunch of other stuff. But I was like, we'll just get into it on the Front Stoop.
Yeah, let them come to the show to see that. Let them come to the show.
Yeah.
But the promo, by the way, was fire. Everybody, all the feedback I got from all my few little handful of Twitter followers was like, yo, this cat at Nothing But Knicks did a dope promo. So, Yo, so for all the Knicks fans out there, yo, Sim has another channel. Is definitely about to jump off, man. Y'all need to come in at the beginning so y'all won't miss nothing, man. These conversations, man, are like polarizing. Yeah. Like, you know, have you up days thinking about what some dude said.
yeah, we had some real conversations in there, man. We're gonna talk about that series when they see us. We're gonna talk about that a little bit on tomorrow night.
Man.
So we're gonna get into that.
Just a couple of things about the Knicks, man. So I've been hearing the Kyrie to the Nets chatter. And I also been hearing about the KD doesn't want to come to New York by himself chatter too. So we might be in that situation where we might have to just stick with the rebuild. Because I heard Scott Perry say on more than one occasion, he's not trading for a free agent. I mean, trading for a guy that he can get in free agency without giving up assets. And B, the rebuilding of the culture is the number one point that from the Knicks employees all to the players, fans, staff, everybody. It's about rebuilding the culture where it's one where everybody's proud to be Knicks fans. So, right. And then he said that too. He mentioned in the interview, it's on MSG is the source, where him and Steve Mills and Scott Perry said that the young guys are so excited to be Knicks that they, you know, come to the facilities early and they feel like it's a family. And he quoted Mitchell Robinson saying that it seemed like he had been knowing the Knicks for like 80 years.
Yeah.
So, and that's on MSG. They posted that a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember reading that. Right. I remember reading that. Yeah, hey, you know what? And if it doesn't happen, man, I'm cool with it. That's the reason why I want to break down, really look at what's going on with this lottery. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, and we go ahead. And I think Scott Perry and those guys are good with it too. You know what I mean? Which should make everybody good with it, I think. Let me get around Freezy, and Freezy giving us the green screen. Let me get around and talk to everybody. All right. Nick, what's going on, man?
How you doing, man?
Good. It's been a while. How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling great, man. Can't complain. Just love life.
I feel you there. How you feeling about everything that you're hearing about the Knicks right now? How you feel about it?
Well, see, number one, I don't listen to the news like that, so I'm not bothered by anything. Okay. I see that, Kyrie's in. He's like playing hopscotch, like hopping around or whatever. It's cool, but I'm not bothered by it. The Durant thing, who knows? Who cares?
Is this
ultimately?
Go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Ultimately, I think it just always boils down to, look, can you develop your own guys? And then look at Toronto as being the example. They developed DeRozan. DeRozan was their guy for years. At the opportune time, they got a superstar that could actually take his place, and they traded him. I mean, that's the time that you actually upgrade. The only time you look to upgrade your team. Outside of that, you just go with what you got. We got to get good first before we get championship chasing. Make the playoffs first. Let's get that part down pat.
Yeah, I feel you there, man. I feel you there. Is this Kyrie Irving's first time being a free agent?
Yes.
Yeah. He's going to enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to enjoy it. It's his first time being a free agent. Probably takes him back to when he was recruited to Duke. And not just recruited to Duke, but recruited by college programs. And it feels good to be wanted. So he's going to take advantage of it and be recruited, get all the love that comes with being recruited, and then make a choice. So he's going to, is his first time doing it. By the time you get to the second and third one, it's not a novelty. It's no longer a novelty. For Kyrie Irving, if this is his first time going into free agency, it's going to be a novelty for him. So you're going to see a lot of that, I think. He's going to like the media. he's in the media. He's always in the media anyway, but in the media for being a free agent, and this team wants him, that team wants him. He's gonna enjoy it, I think.
Yeah. One of the side notes to him going to Brooklyn is the idea that hold on, you gotta echo in the chat. If he goes to Brooklyn, he's not really much of an upgrade over D'Angelo Russell because of his type of game that he plays. And no matter what, they'll still need more guys to be successful. So now you got to ask, can Kenny Atkinson bring something out of Kyrie that Brad Stevens couldn't bring out of him? That's still yet to be seen. I don't think they'll be that successful, but 8-round knockout. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. First round knockout.
Yeah, first. Yeah, I know what you meant. Yeah.
It's not doing nothing. And for the Knicks, we could take note from the Nets. But one thing is they absorbed bad contracts. They took other people's draft picks, and they built this team and made the playoffs. We could look at the Kings, where Scott Perry came from. There's things that they did. They drafted, they developed their guys, and they had a philosophy that they wanted to go by, and they just stuck with it. It's going to take 5 years for us to be successful. So.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me get around. I'm gonna get back. All
right.
I'll get back to you. Enjoy talking in the chat. I'm coming to my man Eddie. All right, Eddie. Give me 1 second so I can get you unmuted. There we go. What's going on, man? I'm good. How
good, Stan? How you doing, man?
I'm good. How you been?
I've been good, man. It's been a minute.
Yeah. So what you think about, everything that you've been hearing so far? There's a little bit of an echo back there. If you could maybe turn the volume down in the back. Got a little echo.
Okay.
Yeah, so how you everything you've been hearing, how you been feeling about that?
What are we talking about? We talking about the game
right now,
or the draft picks?
No, right now we're just kind of, we're just doing a general introduction. Then I'm about to get, after you, I'm moving right into these draft picks.
Well, I really ain't got much to say right now. I was talking about DeMarcus Cousins not too long ago. Talking about, guy has no lift, man. He looked horrible today. And I don't know who's going to pay that guy anything unless it's Golden State. He had a great game, but, you're not going to do that over a season. And you need production over a season and into the playoffs. So I see that guy as a shell of himself. Like, they really needed him today, and he didn't step up at all. Curry did his thing, but they just didn't have enough horses. And it kind of like shows you how dominant they've been the last 5 years, just because of how talented they've been. And now you a lot of times we talk about who's the most important player on the Golden State. Like, if they wouldn't have Draymond, they wouldn't have this guy. Look what happened today. They didn't have Clay, man, and they look awful.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's a vital piece, man. He helps to spread that floor so that Steph Curry can get into the lane. Steph Curry doesn't have 3 and 4 defenders or 2 and 3 defenders hanging all over him. It makes a big difference. Today. It makes a big difference.
No shooting. Cook could have got cooking. They just had nobody, man. Iguodala's old. And yeah, they needed DeMarcus Cousins to step up, and he didn't show today.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, I'm gonna come back to the video chat. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna get started with these talking about the NBA draft. We're gonna get started with the show. All right. So I'm gonna come back. You guys should be able to hear things that are, if I'm playing anything, you guys should be able to hear it. All right. If you are able to follow along, if you have you can look at the stream, you'll be able to see some of the things that I'm gonna put up. We're going to talk about each one of these players and really break them down. All right. So look, again, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell. Big shout out to Chester Chetnick. who gave me a super chat for the front stoop. I appreciate that. And I'd also like to give a shout out to Cloudy Roman. He said, I just want to show some love. Big fan of the channel. Always good to be around. Long-suffering friends. He's not feeling RJ Barrett, though. Canada talent ain't it. That's what he said. So, well, you know what? We got one perspective. We're going to go and get everybody else's perspective as well. The New York Knicks. I'm going to take us back for a second. And some of you guys may not want to go back here, but I'm going to take you back. Right? We're going to go back. And how did we just go back and look at how we got this third pick? Patrick Ewing was represented the New York Knicks at the NBA lottery. And lo and behold, it did not bring us the luck that we thought it was going to bring us. But let's just go back. Let's take a look back.
New York Knicks, Patrick Ewing, you're moving on to the next round. Let's look at our finalists for the number 1 pick. Representing the Los Angeles Lakers, their forward, Kyle Kuzma. Representing the Grizzlies, Elliott Sox Perry. I told you those Sox were lucky. And the Pelicans, David Griffin. And representing the Knicks, Patrick Ewing.
The 4th pick in the 2019 NBA draft goes to the Los Angeles Lakers. The 3rd pick goes to the New York Knicks.
We made it to the second round and had my fingers crossed, toes crossed, everything was crossed, but it didn't come out. You know, 3 is very good. I think I'm proud, and whoever we draft, I'm proud. I know they're going to be happy and proud to be a New York Knick. You know, you look at all the guys that are in this room. They're all very good talent. They all have great abilities, and whoever we pick is going to be somebody that's going to help to rebuild the franchise. Be happy with what we have, and cherish him, help him, support the team, and hopefully good things will come.
And ladies and gentlemen, that was the story of it all. And like you heard Patrick Ewing say, we've got to deal with what we got, love and support whoever comes to the New York Knicks. But that's just kind of the story on how we ended up with the 3rd pick. Fans were distraught that we did not get the 1st pick, even though the odds were against us getting the 1st pick. You know, all of us, we kind of had our hearts set. We felt like maybe this was the time. Didn't happen for us. So we got the 3rd pick in the NBA draft. The 3rd pick in the NBA draft. You take a quick look at our lottery picks, what we have this year. The 1st round, we got the 3rd pick. The 2nd round, we have the 55th pick. The 55th pick in the 2nd round. That pick is coming to us from Houston. Our original pick, originally, we would have, because we had the worst record in the league, we would have had the 31st pick in the draft, which is valuable. It's a 2nd round pick, but it's valuable. Why is it valuable? It's a valuable pick. It's a valuable pick because, well, it's the 31st pick. And usually in a normal draft, that 31st pick is pretty close to being a 1st round pick. But you don't have the guaranteed contract unless you sign that player. Now, this season, it's a little bit different. All right, we traded that pick. Phil Jackson traded that pick some years back for Travis Ware. So we acquired, I don't exactly remember how we acquired the 55th pick, but we acquired the 55th pick from Houston. So now we've got the 55th pick. And here are some of the reasons that you hear Frank Ntilikina's name come up in trade to clear cap space and to maybe move up in that 2nd round and get a 31st, 32nd, 33rd pick. All right. We'll see what happens on that front. But for now, we're going to take a look at the draft picks. We're going to talk about them. We're going to break them down. Presented to us by Lineups. We're going to be taking a look at the Lineups NBA Draft Guide. And I see some people calling in. I promise you I'm going to get to your calls. All right? I'm going to get to your calls. Right now I want to, get a little bit of time to go over some of these things I want to talk about. All right, Lineups. Make sure you go to lineups.com. Check out lineups.com. It's a pretty nice website. All right. The Lineups 2019 NBA Draft Guide. You see here on the cover, Ja Morant, RJ Barrett. You see who's on the cover. I don't need to go over everybody. Right? And like most mock drafts, it's kind of a consensus of who the top 3 picks are going to be. Right? Of course, you got Zion Williamson. Zion Williamson is a consensus number 1 pick in the draft. Right? Consensus number 1 pick in the draft. You see, he's a freshman from Duke. He's 18 years old, 6'7", 285 pounds, has a 6'10" wingspan. According to lineups.com, basketball IQ as a 9. Shooting is a 7, and we've seen it. He can improve his shooting. His jumper isn't broke. He can improve his shooting. Passing is an 8, dribbling a 6. His hustle is a 10. His hustle is definitely a 10. His defense is a 9. He averaged 22.5 points per game, 8.8 rebounds, 2.1 assists. Shoots 68.4% from the field. Why? Because a lot of his shots are dunks. He shot 33% from 3. All right, you're looking at, I'm not going to go over and read through the entire paragraph, right? But you're looking at his strengths, his physical attributes. His strengths are his physical attributes. Listen, the kid is humongous to be 18 years old. He's definitely humongous. He's a big guy. He's able to finish. He can drive to the basket. He can finish. He can power through people. We all seen it. He powers through people. His rebounding, his all-around defense, and they have here his playmaking. And he can, because of his pure strength, power, and speed, he's able to make plays. Weaknesses, well, as everyone has always said, his jump shot. He's got to improve his jump shot. Right? His height. In the NBA, his height will be a weakness. And this is some of the reasons that people are a little bit concerned about him in the NBA. We've heard this in our chat plenty of times, that he may not be such a force in the NBA, and that's partly due to his size. Right? He's 6'7", and he's not a true wing. He's like a hybrid wing and power forward. So in the NBA, he's going to be a small power forward. If he's in the NBA, he's going to be a bigger 3 in the NBA. Still, he'll be a bigger 3 according to his weight and size and bulkiness and his girth. But there are 3s that are 6'8", 6'9", that are more slender, have more speed, have better footwork. So the question is, where does he fit? Will his strength and speed and athleticism be able to carry him for his career? We're gonna see. You know what I mean? We're definitely gonna see. Let's look at it a little bit more. His best landing spot. Well, you see here it says his best landing spot would have been the New York Knicks, and maybe that would have been true, but it's not going to happen. He's not going to be a New York Knick. I hear people constantly say, not constantly, but I hear people say maybe the Knicks can trade for Zion Williamson. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, right? So I would keep that as far away from your mind as possible, right? Because I really do doubt that's going to happen. with Zion Williamson. He's not going to be traded to the Knicks. Okay. NBA comparison: Charles Barkley, Draymond, maybe Draymond, Aaron Gordon hybrid. They say flashes of LeBron. I don't know about that. I'm not ready to go there with Zion Williamson. But that's Zion Williamson, ladies and gentlemen. And right now, I'm pretty sure he's going to go to the New Orleans Pelicans. They're going to draft Zion Williamson. Zion Williamson is already a household name. He's already a major figure in the NBA, in basketball. The New Orleans Pelicans, they need somebody to bring fans into their arena. Anthony Davis couldn't do it. Listen, Anthony Davis isn't a sexy type of player. Zion Williamson is. You know what I mean? There is no way that I see the New Orleans Pelicans trading or passing up on Zion Williamson. I just don't see it happening. Right? So that's the consensus number 1 pick in the NBA draft. All right, so I'm just going to go around. I'm going to choose 3 people in the video chat. And I just want to get what you think about Zion Williamson. All right, come around to a couple of people here. Let me see. I'm going to come to Guermo. Hopefully Guermo is ready when I come to him. And I want to, just really quick, Guermo, I'm going to come to you. Then I'm going to come to Aunt G, right? Then I'm going to come back out and talk about Ja Morant. But I just want to know from you, what do you think about, what's your take on Zion Williamson? We know he's going to the New Orleans Pelicans, right? What's your take on Zion?
I feel bad for him. He's gonna suffer out there with the Pelicans because AD doesn't want to be there. But I will say this: if they're patient with him, they have a lot of good pieces. They have Drew Holiday. They have Mirotic, he's not there anymore, but they do have pieces. They have the kid with the hair, Alfred Payton. They got a piece around him that if they could develop him, he's not gonna be a star. He has to build the technical skills. If he came to the Knicks, he would have had that. We brought the superstars, whatever. But I feel bad for him because he might not have time to develop. They might push the envelope and try to get him to be this mega superstar that he isn't.
Yeah.
I just didn't get in college with him.
Do you fear that the same thing is going to happen to him that happened to Zion, that happened to Anthony Davis over there in New Orleans? Doesn't really get too much of a spotlight, or will he be able to create his own spotlight, kind of like Kevin Durant did in Oklahoma?
Well, the only thing is that I'll say this: Dan Gilbert is a smart GM, so I might take back some of the sentiment that they might try to push him. I think that if Dan Gilbert has his right, they're not trying to sell. I'm sorry, I said Dan Gilbert. I'm sorry, David Griffin. Apologies.
David Griffin. Yeah.
Used to be my bad. I'll say this: if they take their time with him, they would benefit. He's not a guy like I honestly think that Zion loves the game. That's one great thing about it. He loves the game of basketball. So you don't need to necessarily give him a spotlight. If they take their time and put pieces around him and don't make him the focal point and say, hey, develop your game. We want you to shoot your shots. We don't care if you shoot 20% from 3. We want you to shoot your shots, get comfortable, learn more, get better with your technical skills, especially in a half-court game. And they give him that development and don't say that don't try to trade him out to Lakers or whatever, trade him and for peace, blah, blah, blah. He could be a good piece. He could be a star. I don't think he's going to be a mega star. I don't think he's going to be a superstar, but he could be a star. He could be an all-star, high-energy guy, has a little touch with a jump shot. A Julius Randle with a little bit more explosiveness and better defense. So, I like the guy. I like his attitude, but I just don't see in terms of technical skills. I don't just see him being an all-star or a superstar outright getting drafted to the Pelicans.
All right. Ant, I'm coming to you, Ant.
What's your take on it? I like Zion. I think he's going to be a star from the jump, kind of in the way that Blake Griffin was. Mm-hmm. People forget Blake Griffin made like kids hot overnight just by jumping over one. Like Blake was I know people poo-poo on him now.
No, you know what? You're right. He did.
Yeah, he made kids hot, man.
You're right about that.
After he jumped over that kid, man. But like I think Zion's gonna be a star in that, right? Whether his production or his value warrants it from the jump, he's gonna be a star from the jump. So he's gonna bring a lot. I think New Orleans is gonna have some ESPN games this year coming up. So, but on production-wise, I think he'll be pretty good. He'll probably be in the Rookie of the Year running because they don't really have any other guys over there besides Drew. And I can see Drew Holiday really feeding him the ball with Anthony Davis being gone. So, I like him. I like his skill set. He's a a very good passer that goes untalked about a lot of the times. He's a, he plays hard. So he's never been a bad defender just because of his effort, his athleticism. So I think, in the long run, he's going to be an elite defender, an elite rebounder, and, a leader at the least. So if he can ever develop a jump shot, then we're talking,
Okay. So do you think that the Pelicans are going to keep Jrue Holiday until 2022, given his contract, with with Anthony Davis gone and Zion Williamson there? You think he stays?
I think Jrue gets moved at the trade deadline because I think Jrue Holiday with Anthony Davis being gone and him kind of being the quasi number one option, I think his trade value is going to skyrocket if they just wait a little bit. Okay. And wait to the trade deadline, and you're going to have teams that need a guy like that, that may be willing to part with some pieces to bring in a guy like Jrue Holiday to bring him over the top. So I see I see the Pelicans holding on to Jrue at least to the trade deadline.
Okay.
You see the trade deadline.
All right. I see, the only thing I would say to that about Jrue Holiday is, given that they've put it out there that Anthony Davis is on the trading block, if offers come along that includes Jrue Holiday, they're definitely going to listen. So I would say that there could be a chance that Jrue Holiday is gone at the same time that Anthony Davis is gone.
Well, look, one of my successful off seasons for the Knicks is KD. And then trading for AD and Jrue at the same time. So, the Knicks may be able to pull something off like that. So, especially if Kyrie, pulls the punk move, then, we may have to do something like that. So, I could see that happening.
Yeah, we'll see. Right now, Kyrie Irving is pump faking with everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
throwing pump fakes here, fake dribbles here, fake dribbles there. We don't know what Kyrie's doing.
He's trolling. I don't think KD and Kyrie end up on two different teams in New York. Something's going to give.
Okay.
Something's going to give.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna come back around. I'm gonna go ahead and review the next guy up the plate, because this guy definitely is on the table for the Knicks. Right? We are talking about none other than Ja Morant. Right? Now, just about every single draft has Ja Morant going to the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, we had a discussion last night about Ja Morant and the possibility of the Memphis Grizzlies passing on him because of his knee surgery. Right? Ja Morant is going to have a knee surgery very soon. I'm not exactly sure when it's going to be. If he hasn't had it already, I don't know. Right? But the knee surgery is to help clean out some debris that's in his knee. Right? He has debris in his knee from an injury that happened during the NCAA tournament. Right? He banged his knee up. He's going to have surgery to have his knee cleaned out. I'm not sure that scares off the Memphis Grizzlies. It may not. But Ja Morant is a guy that is, we've got to take a look at him, and the Knicks should take a look at him as well. Now, because of his surgery, he may not get a chance to work out for the Grizzlies, for the Knicks, or anybody else before the draft. He may not get a chance to work out for these teams before the draft because his surgery is going to take 3 weeks to heal. All right, Ja Morant, he's 19 years old, 6'3", 175 pounds. He has a 6'10" wingspan. From Murray State, he's a sophomore. It's basketball IQ. Well, let's talk about his averages first. He averaged 24.5 points per game, 5.7 rebounds, 10 assists per game. Shot 49.9% from the field, 36.3% from three. Now, I know there are some people that are concerned about Ja Morant's size, right? I'm not as concerned about his size, right? He's 6'3", so he's got decent height. He's 19 years old. His body is going to grow, right? He's going to get bigger. He's going to get stronger. All right. What are his strengths? You guys seen him in the NCAA tournament. I wish that he would have been able to go a little bit longer so that we can really see him in some higher pressure, higher stakes games. But it didn't happen. It wasn't meant to be for him. But his strengths, passing. Listen, the kid has a great sense of the court. His court vision is, I don't know if I want to say off the charts, but he has excellent court vision. His passing accuracy is, I think that's off the charts. And I think his timing is off the charts. And timing for a guard is of the utmost importance when you talk about passing. Timing and accuracy is they are two of the most important things for a point guard. You can have a point guard that can handle the ball, can go to the basket, dip it off, dish it off, this and that, do all these things. Right? That's all good. That's great. But the timing of those passes have to be on point. The timing of those passes sometimes leads the person to the hoop. The timing and the accuracy of the passes sometimes puts the ball in the pocket at the exact moment, ready for that person to release. And for a shooter, let me tell you, it is so important that you don't have to come down here to get the ball and then bring it up. That you can get it right here, where you don't need to drop your elbows. You can get it right here, come up, bang, shoot. Those split seconds mean a whole lot. And the timing, the rhythm for a shooter means a lot. And Ja Morant, from what I've seen, has very good timing on his passes, and they're accurate. And I think it's going to be important. Finishing. He's a very good finisher. He can finish at the rim. He can finish from the field. He shot 49.9% from the field. Ball handling is very good ball handle. His handle's there. He plays good defense. His weaknesses, turnovers. Listen, if you have a guy that averages 10 assists per game, he's going to take some chances. And that's going to lead to turnovers, right? Hopefully when he gets into the NBA, he's able to, calm down a little bit with the turnovers, make some smarter decisions, those type of things. We'll see. Right? Consistency on his jumper. He shot 36.3% from three. Some of that, maybe his shot selection. We'll see if he's able to improve his jump shot. He's a young kid. He's 19 years old. He's got time. College competition, there's been a lot said, about where he played and if he had such a great season because of the competition that he played against. But when we seen him in the NCAA tournament, he was cooking. The kid, I think, is going to be special. I think he's going to be special. I think he's going to be very good. His basketball IQ is an 8, shooting is an 8, his passing is a 10, dribbling a 9, his hustle is a 9, and his defense is a 9. Listen, he shot up the charts to become almost by consensus the second best player in this draft. I think there's a lot of people that may disagree and still believes that RJ Barrett is the number 2, maybe even the number 1 player in the draft. And we're going to talk about RJ Barrett very, very soon. All right, but this is what we have from Ja Morant right now, and he is slated by about Ja Morant. Lineups.com has cards. But if you're looking at it right now, the Memphis Grizzlies, they're not going to keep Mike Conley around. Right? Mike Conley is making $30-40 million a year. The Memphis Grizzlies are going to start over. There's no need for Mike Conley, so they're going to need a point guard to start their rebuild as well. All right. His worst landing spot, they say it would be Cleveland. Listen, Cleveland would have no need to take Ja Morant. Right? They would have no need for him, so I doubt he would go to Cleveland if he were to fall that low. He's not going to fall that low. Bottom line, he's not falling that low. All right. His NBA comparisons: Russell Westbrook, De'Aaron Fox, a young Derrick Rose. I don't think so. I've heard it on a couple of occasions. I don't think so. Derrick Rose doesn't have the same kind of court vision. Derrick Rose did not have the same type of passing ability, in my opinion. And I don't think Derrick Rose had the same type of basketball IQ either. So I think that comparison is very wrong. No way, in my opinion, is he a young Derrick Rose. But that's Ja Morant, ladies and gentlemen. Ja Morant. And we are going to come over to, well, let me take a phone call real quick, and then I'll get to the video chat. All right, caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Hey, what's up, Tim?
What's going on with you, my man?
Nothing much.
Right now, we, just talking a little bit about Ja Morant. And, just looking at his numbers and we know he's projected to go number 2 in the draft, although the New York Knicks could be in play for Ja Morant if the Memphis Grizzlies chose to pass on Ja Morant because of his injury situation, or not really an injury situation, because he's getting his knee cleaned out, right? And he's not going to be able to work out for the Grizzlies or the New York Knicks. I doubt that they'll pass up on him. I think he's going to be a very good guard in this league and a guy that you want to jumpstart your rebuild with. What do you think?
I think you're absolutely right. I think if he's only getting debris taken out, if it's nothing major, I don't see how he gets to the Knicks. But if he gets to the Knicks, Dame Lillard went to Weber State. He didn't go to a big-time school. C.J. McCollum didn't go to a big school. There's a lot of good guards that didn't go to humongous schools.
Steph Curry.
A lot of good players. Yeah, Steph Curry, who's the number one of all that. He went to Davidson. I think if you can get Ja Morant, that's amazing. That's a blessing. It's a fire sale for the rest of the guards, but you get Ja Morant. I honestly, I'm a firm believer that I honestly don't want Kevin Durant and I don't want Kyrie. I think we should just draft young and put in some pieces and keep cap flexibility. I just think you're getting 30-year-old Kevin Durant. He just got hurt running down the court. It's not like somebody hit him. 30 years old and he pulls that, and it's not an Achilles, but he's been out for 3 weeks.
Let me ask you this. If the Knicks somehow Ja Morant ended up in New York, right? Of the point guards that we have, we already know that Emmanuel Mudiay is going to. The Knicks are going to, release his contract or whatever, release his hold. We know that they've got to in order to have maximum salary space. So you still got Dennis Smith Jr. and Frank Ntilikina, right? Who people still do not know where Frank Ntilikina lies as a point guard, as a 3-man, as a shooting guard, whatever. Of those two players, Frank Ntilikina and Dennis Smith Jr., which one is moved? Or do you keep Dennis Smith Jr., keep Frank Ntilikina, because you can use Frank Ntilikina in another spot? Emmanuel Mudiay is gone. You got Ja Morant. You got Dennis Smith Jr. You still got Frank that can be used at the 1, the 2, or the 3.
Yeah, I think I go by his scouting report. Frank's scouting report said 3 years. So we can't get rid of Frank.
I'm assuming right now. So I'm just assuming right now that we keep him, right? So let's just say, for example, we drafted John Morant. What happens from that point guard spot? Because you got Dennis Smith Jr., you got Frank Ntilikina, but Frank Ntilikina can be used in different areas on the floor. Do the Knicks keep Dennis Smith Jr. and either one of Dennis Smith Jr. and John Morant comes off the bench? And then you have Frank Ntilikina that can go from, between 2 or 3 different spots.
Yeah,
or do you move?
Absolutely.
Or do you move Dennis Smith Jr.?
You know what? I keep Dennis Smith Jr. only because he's cheap. You're not going to find a good, a guard of his caliber at $4 million on the market. It's just not going to happen. You're either going to get Ricky Rubio, who's past his prime,
okay,
or somebody of that caliber. When you could just take another year on Dennis Smith Jr. and then if he doesn't pan out, we get rid of him. With his rookie or in February. There's always other moves to be made. So, I mean, I don't want to get rid of Frank. I just think, that groin pull is a monster injury. I mean. LeBron didn't come back from it, so I can't expect Frank to come back from it either. So we keep him. I think we keep Dennis Smith Jr. If we got John Morant, hey, if Fizdale is, keeps up what he said last year, you catch what you kill. Dennis Smith Jr.'s got to earn that starting spot. John Morant comes in, and he's the man. Hey, Dennis Smith Jr. comes off the bench.
Okay.
We're paying John Morant more anyways. And then
that's true. That's definitely true. You're paying him more anyway, but if you go by what if you go by what Fizdale says, he's not gonna, unless it's your stars, but with the young guys, he says he's not gonna base it on how much money you make. But he would be the 3rd pick, and I think there would be a lot of people upset if he wasn't the starter, if he were drafted at 3. We'll see what happens there.
He's not drafted, but hey, if Dennis Smith Jr. outplays him, hey,
you gotta do what you gotta do.
Then we luck out on both ends.
Yeah,
So, I think if we can get John Morant, we go for it. I mean, that's a blessing.
Yeah,
you only get those every once in a while. So, you guys have a good night. Talk to you guys.
All right. Appreciate the call, my man. All right, appreciate it. Peace. All right. I want to hear from some more people about what they think about Ja Morant and the possibility of him coming to the New York Knicks. Ernesto, I'm going to come to you, my man. And I just want to hear, what do you think if Ja Morant were to come to the Knicks, who goes to the bench or somebody moved? I want to know what you think about that. All right. What's up, Ernesto, man? What do you think? Listen, the consensus is that Ja Morant is going to get drafted by the Memphis Grizzlies, but I'm not going to rule it out that he ends up on the Knicks. We've seen crazy things happen, right? We see it all the time. Let's just say the Memphis Grizzlies did get scared off because they weren't able to work out Ja Morant, and they were nervous about him getting his knee cleaned. Do you think, or who would you move if you were, or would you move anyone if you were the Knicks and we drafted Ja Morant? Would you keep Dennis Smith Jr. and bring him off the bench behind Ja Morant, or let them have a battle at the point guard spot? Also keep Frank Ntilikina, right, who can go from the 1, the 2, and the 3 because he can play in different areas? Or do you move one of those two guys? What do you do?
Well, if we draft Morant, obviously, then we have to trade. DSJ has to be moved, obviously.
You think so?
Obviously, yeah. And I'm calling up Phoenix to see if they want to make a trade.
Okay. You don't think that he'd be okay with coming off the bench behind Ja Morant? Because I think that would be the issue.
I mean, I think we, to be honest with you, we have Kadeem Allen as probably the backup point guard as well. So I think we can get more value for DSJ at this point. And frankly, I see them moving DSJ if we do draft Morant. I see them probably trading away Dennis Smith Jr. Look, this is how I feel about what the summer's going to look like. I think we're going to trade for AD. I think that's I think that's going to be one of the first moves that's going to go down. We're going to get AD first, and DSJ is going to be in part of that package, including with RJ or whoever we draft at third. We probably, who knows if the AD trade goes down before the draft. That's also a possibility. It could happen.
That's also a possibility. That's definitely a possibility.
And we won't even be picking in it. We won't probably even have a pick this year. Who knows?
I'm not gonna lie to you.
You can't rule that out.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm already excited about the draft pick we're gonna have. I am. And while I do understand, the whole thing with Anthony Davis, I would be a little bit disappointed that we didn't get one of these young guys, because I really do like seeing young guys grow from a small group. I really would be a little bit disappointed. Now, the one thing that I have noticed, and I'm calling the New York Knicks tomorrow to talk about, to see if I can get some information about the draft party. Right? Because I'd like to either attend the draft or attend the draft party that's going to be at MSG. I'm just surprised. We're 2 weeks away from the draft. 2 weeks away. I'm surprised that the Knicks have not put out any information about the draft party. Maybe that's neither here nor there, but maybe it is a sign of something. Maybe they're holding off. Maybe there are conversations going on, and let's not have a draft party, or let's hold off on the draft party. You know what I mean? What do you think about that?
I think it's definitely a possibility. I think with everything that's going on, I seriously doubt KD is going to be the first guy to jump ship and say, you know what, I'm going to go to the Knicks without nobody being here. So I think the Knicks are going to probably look to push the envelope and try to lock up AD before the summer starts, before free agency.
Okay,
and that's a possible. It could happen. I could see them, like I said, those 2 Dallas picks, our pick this year, plus Knox and DSJ, and a combination like that, along with Lance Thomas, just to make the salaries match. I think that's a really possibility. I think that's a possibility, and I can see that happening before the draft.
Yeah. All right. I'm sure that's a possibility. But back to Ja Morant, though. Do you think that the Memphis Grizzlies pass on him?
To be honest with you, I think they do. I think they do take Barrett at number 2. That's the way I feel about it.
You feel it? Okay.
I think they do. I think I have Morant going. I have Morant going number 3 to us now in my latest mock draft. I just think Barrett, to match him up, they have need at basically all spots right now, because Memphis is gonna look to rebuild completely now, and so supposedly there's a trade that's gonna happen with their point guard going to Utah. But it could go either way. But I can see Memphis taking Barrett number 2. I wouldn't be surprised at all about that.
Okay. All right. So then that would have. All right. So then let me ask you, if Memphis did decide to take Barrett at number 2, are you taking Ja Morant, or do you pass on Ja Morant?
I'm calling up Griffin and ask him, okay, so who's your pick?
Okay. All right, you calling them up? All right.
Yeah, I mean it's the Pelicans that are going to be on the clock, not us. They're gonna have number 1 and number 3. They're starting over, man. Just like we're starting over.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they're definitely
different
starting
scenarios.
over.
We're starting over with superstars, and they're starting over with rookies.
Yeah.
It's a rebuild for them, and it's basically it's gonna be the Heat 2.0 over here in New York. So
Yeah,
that's what's gonna happen.
All right. Let me give a
Hey,
quick
listen, when AD's on board, then KD's gonna start giving it serious thought about being a Knick. I mean, it's obvious. And if we don't give up Mitch in that deal, having a front court of Mitch, AD, and KD, that's monstrous.
Of course, that would be monstrous. That would be crazy. That would be crazy. All right, let me get back to you. I'm gonna come back to the chat. All right. I'll be back shortly.